Hello and welcome to another Good Game Empire video. Today I will be explaining the Nomad invasion together with its difficulty scaling. So let's begin. First I will tell you how the difficulty scaling works and how it applies to how it affects your gameplay with the Nomad invasion, and later I will show you how to attack the camps, what has changed in terms of forming the attacks, making presets and stuff like this. Yeah, so let's start with the difficulty, and like the first thing, before we even talk about the difficulty levels, which you just saw there when choosing them when the event begins, let's remember that the opponents in the event, so for example Nomad camps, or it also applies to all the other events with difficulty scaling, so for example foreign lords or samurai camps, the amount of units which are there is dependent on your castle, on your account in general, and on the strength of your account. So main factors which apply for the amount of units in those castles, in those event opponents, are your might points, the amount of units you have in your main castle, and the level of your barracks, so maximum units you are able to recruit in your main castle. So let's see how it works. If you have more units in your castle, this will make you have stronger opponents, for example stronger nomad camps, which will have more units in them. If you have more might points, it might also affect the amount of units there. But talking about the level of your barracks and the units you are able to recruit, like the best units you are able to recruit, this will affect the level of the units in nomad camps. So when you take a look at the nomad camp, you can see that these units have, well, maybe it's only about samurai, okay? But basically, your barracks will affect how many units are there as well, because depending on your barracks, it will, the game will change the amount and the strength of units which are in the camps. So if you're on a very low level and, for example, your barracks in your main castle only allow you to recruit like units like, I have veteran versions, alright, but for example, you can only recruit crossbowmen and macemen, which is barracks like level 2 or 3 or something like this, very low barracks. You will have way weaker camps, way weaker nomad camps. But if you are able to recruit, for example, those kind of units, the coin troops, you will have significantly stronger camps or nomad camps. And if you are able to recruit mid units, you will have even stronger camps. Also, if you have your attackers upgraded, this will also affect the strength and amount of units which you have in the nomad camp. So you need to have this in mind that, for example, if you compare that, you have intermediate plus level, difficulty level, and your friend also has the same difficulty level, you can have, for example, 3 times more units in the nomad camp compared to that friend, even though you have the same difficulty level, alright? So the first thing to have in mind is that depending on the strength of your account, you will have more or less troops. So let's just say that my account makes the nomad camps have 1000 troops, okay? So when your account applies for some amount of troops in nomad camps, it is also affected by the difficulty level you choose. So the first factor which affects the number of troops is your account strength in general, and the second factor which also applies is the troop amount you can see here in difficulty levels. So for example, let's say my account would give me 1000 units in nomad camp. When I go with easy mode, I will have only 600, yes, because we have 60% of the units you would have with your account. If we take easy plus, it's gonna be 650 units, yes. Intermediate plus 700 units, 750 units, let's skip maybe to there, 900 units, 950 units, 1000 units, and there is 1050 units. So the first factor is the strength of your account, and the second factor is the troop amount, troop multiplier I would call it. dependent on the difficulty level you choose. So what are the difficulty levels? Well, you have 10 of them, and there's like 5 categories. All of them have their version without plus and with plus, yes? So we have 2 easy levels, 2 intermediate, 2 hard, 2 expert, and 2 master, which is master and arc master. So the difference between them is, as you can see, as it follows: the strength of wall, gate, and mode, as well as melee and ranged defenders strength. We will also have wall unit limit, the courtyard strength, and the defender's strength. So defender's strength is actually a bonus, a plus to ranged as well as melee, so you can just count it as bonus to this and this. But it will affect only on the courtyard. Okay, so we can see that this number increases here, and on all the next difficulty levels, as you can see, yeah. So it goes up and up. We can see, for example, we have from 19 to 22% for melee as well as ranged. So this means that the Castellan, because all of those effects will be applied on the Castellan of the Nomad camp, it doesn't have such things as castle wall or castle moat or something. It just has all those bonuses applied in the Castellan, alright? So you will see a random number from 15 to 17 for the wall, gate, a bit lower for moat. And as you can see, ranged will be between 19 and 22. The ranged is very important because we need to use shields, so we need to be aware how much percent will we have of ranged strength on the walls. So for example, here you can tell that it's gonna be 100% plus maximum 22, so 122, and plus from the tools, so it depends on the camp as before. We will also have the wall units, courtyard, and defender strength, and this will increase to the next levels. As you can see, it goes up, so you will need to use more shields, and you will get a little bit more casualties, so you will lose a little bit more troops in the attacks because the total number of units in the camps will increase, and as well the defensive parameters will increase. You don't really need to care about wall, gate, or moat protection because those things you will cover easily with tools, yeah? So this is not a problem. The bigger problem is melee and ranged defenders boost, because this will make all the units in the courtyard stronger. So when your units go past the wall and they fight in the courtyard, they will face harder opponents on the courtyard, so you will have more casualties because the opponent has bigger strength compared to lower difficulty levels. And as we can see, the difference between, for example, intermediate plus like around 20 and hard plus around 30, it isn't too big. There is 75%, there is 85%. So the difference in casualties will be not too big. You'll see, for example, let's say 15 casualties here and like 20-ish, 25 maybe casualties here. So it's not a big difference. Bigger casualties might start on levels, maybe not expert, because it's still only 10% strength in courtyard. The troop amount is still lower than 100%. So this is still fairly easy to beat with your units. It's gonna be harder on the last 3 difficulty levels. So expert plus, when we start getting more than 10 courtyard, when we start getting nearly 50% of strength of the units. As you can see, still we don't need to care about this because we're gonna cover this all with tools. But as you can see, expert plus will give you significantly more casualties than intermediate and hard, and the last 2 will have very boost for ranged, for melee, and for courtyard. So master and arc master, I mean the difference between them is also very huge. So these last 2 difficulty levels will make you have bigger losses. So it's gonna be easy to see that they give you bigger losses. All right, and the last difficulty level is the classic mode. You can access it by clicking here on this blue text, classic mode. And what is classic mode is basically what we had before the change. All right, so it's gonna be with the 2.5k decoration. You're gonna have the hero, the items, top 100, and a lot of silver and gold. So my one tip is, if you're running very low on silver and gold pieces and you need them very, you really need them, you should go for a classic mode, but not too often, because how these difficulty levels work. So let's now move to the to the part where I explain how to unlock next difficulty levels, because of course you can see the first four, so easy, easy plus, intermediate, and intermediate plus, are available. We can confirm the difficulty level, as you can see there, and we don't need to pay in rubies. But for the next difficulty levels, you can see that we need to pay in rubies. Why would we pay in rubies to just access the Nomad invasion? Yeah, very weird. Okay, so how it works is you will have to complete achievements in order to access those higher difficulty levels for free. Yeah, so you can temporarily buy it for rubies. It's gonna allow you to participate this time paying with rubies, but for the next time it's not gonna be unlocked anyways. So I strongly suggest to you, as the Nomad invasion occurs every week except the week we have Samurai, so pretty much every week anyways, you'll have the opportunity to to unlock the next difficulty level. So how do you unlock the difficulty level? Well, you need to check the achievements. So let's remember, the last one we have accessible without rubies, intermediate plus, and the first one to unlock with rubies is hard. Okay, so now let's proceed to achievements right there, here, and we need to go to the last tab, events. We need to scroll way down there, and we are there at Nomad Vanquisher. Never mind. The achievement says that we need to defeat 200 intermediate plus level Nomad camps, and this will unlock the hard difficulty level for the Nomad camps. So what this means that it means that in order to unlock hard difficulty level for all the next invasions, you will have to defeat 200 camps when being in the event on intermediate plus difficulty level. So as you might remember, we have intermediate plus for free as the last free difficulty level. So we need to go to you need to confirm that difficulty intermediate plus and do 200 attacks on Nomad camps. You cannot complete this achievement on other difficulty levels than the one which is stated there, as you can see there. Yes, so you will have to defeat 200 intermediate plus Nomad camps. So you can do this on any other. If you, for example, if you buy I don't know, very hard difficulty level for rubies, you will not complete this achievement. This is not gonna count for the achievement if you make the attacks on a higher difficulty level than your last one, which is not for rubies. All right, so in order to unlock the next paid difficulty level, you will have to defeat camps on the last accessible for free difficulty level. I think that's pretty clear. All right, so when you want to unlock the hard difficulty level, you will have to defeat 200 camps when being at the event with intermediate plus difficulty. Okay, so the next, hard plus. How to access hard plus? Now you will have to pay in rubies, but if you accessed hard by making 200 attacks there, you will have hard for free in the next event. You cannot change the difficulty during the same event. You will have to wait for the next Nomad to arrive, and after you completed 200 attacks intermediate plus on that Nomad, you will have the possibility to play hard version of the Nomad for free at the next Nomads. All right, so when you want to unlock hard plus, you will have to make 250 attacks on hard difficulty level. All right, and this goes on and on with all the difficulty levels. Each next level will require you to make 50 attacks more than the previous one, and you will have to make those attacks on a difficulty level which is the last one you have without rubies. Okay, so we go 200 on intermediate plus to get hard, 250 on hard to get hard plus, 300 here to here, 350 here for this one, 400 on this one to get this one, 450 to get this one. So the last this requires you 400 to get master and 450 attacks on master to unlock the last one, Arc Master, to be accessible for free without rubies. So in total it's gonna be like 1.5 thousand attacks or something like this. So you will have to do 200, 250, 350, all right? So those numbers can be made in one event pretty easily, even for free to play. You can get the time skips from the blacksmith. So 2, 250, 3, 350, all right? Then we have 400 and 450. So those numbers can be pretty tough to make in one event. So let's say you will split 400 and 450 into 2 events. And also have in mind that Expert Plus and Master might be a bit more challenging. You might start losing more units in the attacks. So making 450 attacks at the Master level will make you lose a lot of units basically. So let's say you will split the last 2 into 2 events. So this will take you to get the maximum difficulty level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So you will have to complete 7 or 8 nomad invasions, and we have nomad invasion every week, so it's gonna be 7 to 8 weeks, which is around 2 months. So maybe if we're gonna do this in one event, it's gonna be a bit less. So from 6 months, from 6 weeks to 8 weeks. So it's gonna be between 1.5 to 2 months. All right. So this is how long it's gonna take an average player to get from Intermediate Plus without paying any rubies, just making it by the achievements we have to get to the last achievement, to the last difficulty level. Yes. So this is not that bad, because many players are already complaining about the bloody crows and the samurai units, that why we have to pay rubies. Yeah, that's a problem. Why? I want to access harder level. I don't want to pay rubies every nomad. No, you don't have to. You don't have to pay rubies every nomad. You just need to start slowly with Intermediate Plus, then make 200 levels to hard, then 250 on hard to get hard plus, and so on and so on. And in around 2 months, by completing these achievements, you will get all the levels with no rubies. So you need to be patient, and if you are patient, you will get all the difficulty levels without paying any rubies in around 1.5 to 2 months. So I think that's pretty clear and easy. No worries about paying rubies for the nomad invasion. You don't have to. You don't have to. It might look like you have to, but you don't. And I strongly suggest you to follow the path of making achievements and not paying any rubies for this, because there's no point of this. It's better to unlock this. Also remember that if you are joining with rubies, you're not able to complete any achievement. So it kind of makes no sense. Yeah, so that's the way how to get to the maximum difficulty levels. And now, what else do we need to know? Yeah, the rewards, I guess, the very important thing about this event. So every difficulty level gives you 1 page of the rewards. So of course, the page of the rewards in Nomad Invasion, as you might remember, it has 9 items. Yes, 3 rows, 3 columns, 9 items per page. And every difficulty level will add 1 page of 9 items. Yes. So if we go with easy mode, we're gonna have 1 page of rewards there. Yep. If we go on easy plus, we're gonna have everything which is included. Yes. So plus all rewards from easier difficulty levels. So we're gonna have the first page of rewards from easy level, as well as the second page of rewards from easy plus. As you can see, the rewards are there. Yes. So on intermediate plus, we're gonna have 3 pages of rewards. On intermediate, 3 pages of the rewards. Intermediate plus, 4 pages of the rewards. Yes, and it's gonna go on, and every difficulty level will add you 1 page, which is 9 rewards, to the total list of the rewards you can get. So let's take a quick look. On the lower levels, we have silver, gold, units, and tokens. On the easy levels, yeah, same. Silver, a little bit of the resources from the Beyond the Horizon event. Gold, units, tokens. Intermediate, tokens, units, horizons, resources, and gold, silver. The same for intermediate plus, but we're getting yet another page of the rewards, so it's tax. We have tokens, we have units, gold, resources from horizon, and silver. So better items start on hard and hard plus. We're getting these seeds, and we're getting build items. So as you can see, the build items, some of them are common for all the events. For example, the food storage and stuff like this. but some of them are different for every event. So for example, Nomad has food production and stuff like this. Yeah, on hard plus, the next page, the 6th page, is gonna have a wave item plus 3 waves, 30% flank and 30% front for 8 days. So it's pretty nice. It's very, very nice for the foreign invasion. And have in mind that you don't need to pay rubies to get these rewards. And also getting 100,000 points is not that hard. So it's pretty nice, yes? So the update is great. And we can have the wave item for 8 days. I mean, it's only +3, so it's not super duper, but it's still okay. It's still better than the old reward list. And we're getting an item for front units. Yeah, so basically Nomad is all about the sawmill, which increases the front units. Also resources, gold, silver, yep. Expert, here we are getting the first decoration. The decoration is 3,300 public order. We're also getting a build item, plus 225 unit limit on the wall, but you can improve it with the build with the boosters, yes? So boosters for the build items, you can improve it to purple, it's gonna have plus 275, and to orange, to legendary, it's gonna have plus 325. So have in mind that this item, after upgrading to legendary level, I mean on every level, this item is better than the item from the bestseller. So you shouldn't buy the ruby item, you should buy this item, at least for now, when we have the bestseller mill, which gives you plus 250 on the legendary level. Alright, so off we go. Yeah, silver, gold, beyond the horizon, 1 fabric, okay? So if you want to, I mean, it's a very small number, okay? But it's still something. Expert plus, we're getting more tokens, some items for food storage and for food production. This is actually a very nice item because the previous one was 15,000. Here we have 20,000. I mean, the problem is you need to build a woodcutter building, and because this applies to woodcutter, so that's kind of a trade-off. But I would personally put like 2 woodcutters or even 3 in my main castle to keep putting those items because they're great. It increases food production for 4 days, and you have a constant stream of those items every week, every nomad. I mean, it's not that easy to get this number of points, but it's still a nice reward list. And the last 2 difficulty levels, so master is the 2nd difficulty level with the 2nd reward, the 2nd decoration, I mean. So 3,600 public order, and the build item for 70%, again for the sawmill, front unit limit, but now epic item. We also have gold, silver, and some more horizon resources. And the last level has some seeds, build items, construction tokens, and it has plus 4 waves, plus 40 flank and front for 12 days. So that's a pretty solid item, I must say. It's adding a lot of units to your attack, okay? And we have the better item for the mill, the epic version to 75 units. Alright, some silver and stuff like this. And now the top 1 player, it's very similar to the foreign lords and to samurai units. So we have seats, we have plus 7 waves for top 1, top 25 gets 3.7k decoration, 56 construction tokens, and the top 100 gets 80%, so the legendary version of the item of the event, which is here sawmill, front unit limit 80%, and some upgrade tokens. Alright, for the alliance we are getting, I think, very similar for like in the samurai. Have in mind that there is no rubies in this alliance rewards. And well, alliance, other like players, alliance cannot decide to get the classic version and the classic rewards where we had rubies. No rubies for the alliance treasury, which means that you should start saving up on rubies for wars and not spending rubies for glory boosters and some stuff like this. All right, so keeping that in mind, the amount of rubies you are getting for your alliance will drop significantly, and you should stop spending your alliance rubies on other items, on unnecessary boosters. It's way better to use, for example, a booster for strength against foreign lord and bloody crows, instead of using the glory booster, which pretty much makes nothing, to be fair. Anyways, and it costs you a lot of rubies from the treasury. Alright, so I think now you know everything about the difficulty in Nomad Invasion, and we will proceed to the part where I explain how to attack, what's the difference in the camps itself, and how to form the presets for the camps. Okay, so I hope that was all clear. If it wasn't really, you of course have the chapters of the video split, so you can go back to a specific chapter and watch it again if you didn't catch something or so. And also you can ask in the comments if you didn't understand something. Also check pinned comments. I might have forgotten about something, so I will put this in the pinned comment and in the video description. So now let's proceed to the second part where I explain attacking and we go to the map.